I'd like to think The Witcher is one of those franchises that really doesn't need any introduction. And I think most people will be aware of the computer game, so especially Witcher 3, which is phenomenal. The TV series with Henry Cavill, as well as, you may have started old school with the books. And if you're a fan of any of those and, you're in the role-playing community and you've not sure whether you want to venture down to play the Witcher TTRPG, then this video is for you, because this is going to give you the opportunity to buy all 6 books, yes, on PDF, for less than £12. So that's probably, what, $16 US? It's an absolute, utter bargain. You can dip your toe in and get everything for the price of, well, it's almost a third of the core rulebook if you're going to buy just the book on its own. Also in this video, I'm going to take you through a sort of run through the core rulebook towards the end of the video. If you want to just have a look at the sort of core rulebook, I'll timestamp it so you can just skip to the core rulebook. But yeah, let's just jump you straight over to Dwarf. So this is one of my favourite go-to websites for picking up role-playing books on the cheap. So in this one, it is exclusively PDF. Some of them, they do include physical copies as well. And this is £126 value for £11.39. So what's that, $150 somewhere for about sort of $15, I'm going to guess. And you are going to pick up all 6 of the books that are available. I'll just take you through what's included. You can pay more, so if you end up with $20 or anything over the £11.39, the additional money goes to charity. I will encourage you to spend a little bit more. I always do when I build these. I tend to just go up to the next place level because it's still ridiculously cheap. So at time of videoing, we've still got, there's 18 days left on this. So by the time this goes out, yes, so it should go today. So there's 18 days. So over 1,000 of these packages sold, which is brilliant. And any extra is going to go to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital here. So what you are going to get all 6 books. I own 5 of these. The only one I don't own is this Witcher Easy Mode. So I'm going to start there and then work backwards and just see what this one is. Okay, this is cool. So some of these Humble Bundles will have a preview PDF. So if you want to have a little bit of a look, you can just click on that and it's going to give you an idea of the layout, the format of the book as well. So this is The Witcher. So it's streamlined, easy to use rules, pre-generated characters. Okay, so maybe it's just a self-contained rule book. So I don't own it because I love the core game. So it's actually £11 is a lot for me to pick up just this. So I think I'm not going to jump onto this one. But I think, if you are interested in The Witcher, then you're gonna want this. You really are. So Lords and Ladies is a perfect expansion for The Witcher. So it's going to help the game's master and bring players into the dark and dangerous world. We've got more shields, more stats, the common everyman NPCs in here. Players can now work the land and new playable race. This is the one that brings in your halflings, isn't it? Okay. Which is cool because obviously always more options is, well, for me, is better. You don't, as a games master, you don't have to allow all the playable races if you don't want to. This is The Witcher's Journal. So this adds some additional rules, some additional monsters as well. So it gives you a little bit more of the background as well into the Witchers. Because we always tend to have you only have one Witcher in a party. You can have more, but it does kind of work better if players go with other different characters. For example, you've got priests and mages, and this book here, so the Tome of Chaos, really expands the magic rules in here. So it adds loads of new spells, invocations, rituals, hexes, glyphs, and you get to explore the dark arts in here. So again, this is a good one. I ended up playing like a Healy priest, which it tends to be where I end up now. The Book of Tales is a 6-part adventure that we've played through that was really, really good. The Witcher pretty much mopped up everything and did everything for us, which is good. But yeah, it is a good adventure. This is the one, because none of us read this one. We have got this. Obviously, the Games Master read it. This is where we got the gnomes vran and the werebubbs. Werebubbs, because there's an extra B in there. It's good. It's a good adventure. It took us probably say about 3-4 months to get through, and then obviously it's going to give you the core rule book. which obviously, you know, talks about pen and paper. 9 unique classes. I'll take you through that now, I think. Well, I'll give you the summary. So you've got 9 different classes. You can play bards, you know, criminals, craftsmen, doctors, mages, men-at-arms, merchants, priests, and witches. You've got a huge bestiary. There is loads of spells, invocation. There's a whole crafting section. So if you played The Witcher 3, and obviously like Geralt does in the books as well, you know, he's always collecting things to do with his little potions and stuff. So it's got, as you'd imagine, all the rules in there for that as well. So right, let's just jump over then, and I'll take you. I'm not going to sort of do a full like I do with the reviews of the book. So, but if you've got the opening cover, so it is by Artelzorian Games. It's all hyperlinked, but it's going to give you an introduction to the world. There's a huge section is character creation. So from creating your character to all your gears, if you're going to have the spells, and then you've got this wonderful crafting section. Combat is great because you get you can either do a fast attack or a powerful attack. Fast attack, if I remember, it allows you to do 2 attacks. Powerful attack, just more damage. So, and then it's a really nice choice for the players, because it does just sort of change the way combat rules. Got some optional rules in here, and then there's a huge amount about the world. So if you just pick up the core rule book, you've got everything you need in the core rule book, but for a little bit less money if you're happy with PDFs. And then you can always go and print these off on, you know, if you're here in the UK, Lulu do nice printing, so it's going to get you into this on the cheap as well. So then you've got your Games Master section, details on the witches and creating the mutants as well as relics, and a huge bestiary section there in the book. So you're going to start the book with, say, the backgrounds. It then gives you the stats for Geralt, Yennefer, Dandelion, Zoltan, Triss, and a variety of other people in here. And then character creation. It's nice. And this is just a D10 system. Stat plus skill plus a D10 will determine good things. You know, a 10 is good and a 1 is bad on these rolls. It's random tables as well for character creation. So it depends on where you decide to live. You can randomly roll through your story arc. So it will give you the sort of friends you're going to meet, you know, whether you're married, whether you've got children, things like that. Depends on, and you can take more years and age yourself as well. So you've got the full aging rolls in here. Each of the classes is going to give you a defining skill. So this is your specific skill that is unique to the class that you play. And then you're going to have things like all the skills you're going to come with, and then sort of gear. And then this is the explanation of the specific buskin skill in here. So we've got 9 initially. There are more in the other books as well. Stats: intelligence, reflexes, dexterity, body, speed, empathy, crafting, will, and luck. And luck is this wonderful resource that you can spend to add to dice rolls and stuff. So it's, you know, I think a fair amount of games do that. So we've got all the skills in here. Then you level up via XP, and skill trees are the big defining thing. So looking at the bard, he had that busker skill, which is on empathy, which is, as you'd imagine, charisma. And you can choose whether you want to go down the charmer route, informer route, and manipulator. And each one of those will have 3 unique different powers as well. You do gain the others as you go through, but mostly you're going to sort of specialize in one, and then maybe you'll add a second one as you go along as well. And, you know, so, and like things, if you go down the doctor, you've got all your surgery and things, and, you know, it basically means you've got 3 different it's not like in 5th edition where you got that additional class option. It's a little bit similar, like the specialist classes. It's a little bit like that, but you're not quite as narrow, because you can, so, you know, if you go down the Witcher, you can specialize in mutant, but you can still pick up the Slayer and the spell sword abilities as you go through. Equipment is quite in depth. You've got a few effects and keywords around some of the equipment. So this isn't a light game, even though it's a skills plus stats plus a D10. There are a chunk of keywords, and obviously you've then got all the crafting rules and things like that. So there is quite a lot going on with it, but it does play very fast, because as much as, you know, you've got fast or slow action, you can tend to do a fair amount as you go in. So you've got all the rules here for making and crafting bombs and poisons, and you can enhance your weapons, you know, and add things to them. Pretty much, again, like I think that, I don't know whether this is more based on, it very much feels like Witcher 3, the computer game, but the tabletop role playing. And then we've got all the spells that you're going to get for mages and for priests. And then The Witcher, as you imagine, has got their basic signs, which are, you know, Yrden, Quen, Ard, Igni, and Axii. And they do vary, well, the same things that you do get in The Witcher 3. You've got hexes, and then you've got this wonderful crafting section where you can just kill things, find things, take stuff, and then it talks about how long it takes to put them all together. The character sheet is pretty well laid out for crafting as well. Combat rules, not going to really explain them. So it's just D10 plus combat stuff, trying to hit a certain AC. And if you go for the powerful one, I think, if I remember, it goes through armor. It sort of ignores the armor, or you can do the 2 attacks that you do get to take armor off. So, you know, there is a little bit of element of having a look at your opponent. Healing is quite slow. The combat rules are quite dangerous. The crits are pretty nasty. So if you haven't got a magical healer, it can be a little bit tough. Again, you know, The Witcher has got certain things they can make. And then you've got all the details of the world here, just going through the different areas and all the shields and stuff for them all, and then a little bit more explanation of what's going on. And then running the game, if this is still into your Games Master section, then we've got all the curses and states of the rules. Then we are, that was it, because the life paths are, all the life paths at the start of the book are non-witchery. You've got this section here, which is specific random life paths and roles if you are going to be playing a Witcher, and specific gear and weapons and the mutagens and stuff like that, as you'd expect. And then it's just more stuff on the technology, and then a load of cool magic items in here. Then we get into the bestiary, and all the bestiaries are like different types, like humanoid, spectre, insectoid, because this again is going to play back into the crafting system, because depending on the type of creature and stuff that you kill will determine the I can't think of the word now. The things that you're going to use to craft. I don't know why that word has just jumped straight out of my head, which is kind of annoying. We're going to go boobies, because we do get boobies in this book. They're weird boobies, but boobies nevertheless. Obviously we've got rock trolls, wyverns. And then you've got some standard stuff in here, and then you've just got a little one-shot starting adventure in there, as well as some NPCs and maps that I'm going to skip over and say this is your character sheet. So it's a little bit in depth. We ran it on a VTT, so it was a little bit easier for storing all your gear and crafting, because you are going to have to, you know, keep a record of a lot, and then, you know, you've got all these life events depending on, especially if you're going to go down the more alphy routes and, you know, and live for a lot longer, you will get more life events. But that's a quick blast and run through the core rule book for you. I really do enjoy this game, and this is a great, I say right at the outset, this is a great opportunity for you to go and pick up a copy of this. Incredibly cheap. Run it, see how we get on. If you really love it and you do want physical copies, Lulu's an option, or you can then just go and grab a physical copy from a book. And realistically, you only need the core rule book. You know, the other books are great to have, but you might be able to just run them off the PDFs. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to my main channel, which is Dungeons and Dyslexia, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.